not extrusive factors.
Yes, on that note, we are starting the class today. I think it was finished. The extrinsic and intrinsic factors of tourism is finished. Is there something left? You want to discuss something else? Yes. Uh, yes. Anyone? Anyone want to discuss in that something? Okay, I think we are finished with that. So we will start types of tourism today. What are types of tourism? What types of tourism are there? Yes. What types of tourism are there? We know what tourism is, and what type of tourisms are there mainly. Yes. Let's start with. You can see the board. We can start with recreational tourism. One important type of tourism is recreational tourism. Yes. We classify types of tourism on the basis of activities and main activities taking place in that type of tourism and purpose. So, what is recreational tourism? Any idea? Yes. Any idea? What is recreational tourism? Yes. Anyone? Yes. Sami Farid is here. Yes. Any idea what recreational tourism is? It's very simple. Recreational tourism, we take place to find the recreation, to refresh ourselves. The tourist takes and go on a tour to recreate a recreation purposes and to refresh himself or herself. That is called recreational tourism. Any example of recreational tourism? Yes. Any example of recreational tourism? Anyone? Yes. Yes, Sami. Any example of recreational tourism?
Sir, river rafting, sir.
River rafting and actually this is one of the most sought after reasons why we take a tour. Most found reason why we want to go to a place that is very different from our regular day-to-day life and to relax and to have fun. Adventure activities, beaches, theme park, camping, these are the main spots where we perform or where the recreational tourism is there. One is, we will come to it later also. So one is recreational tourism. A very important and very popular tourism these days is nature tourism. What is nature tourism? Any idea? What is nature tourism? Yes. What is nature tourism? Yes. Nature tourism is where people go to see wildlife, nature, and they want to bask in the joy of just being in the midst of nature. They want to be in the nature. in the midst of the natural things, natural beauty, then it is called the natural tourism or nature tourism. So it is nature tourism. One variant of this is ecotourism. Ecotourism is actually ecotourism is also nature tourism, but it is promoted for conservation of ecosystem. Actually, tourism sometimes plays havoc with the ecosystem. So these tourism activities are organized in such a way that ecosystem is preserved. So it is called ecotourism. Nature tourism and ecotourism are mostly the same. Any example of ecotourism? Yes? Any example of ecotourism?
So visiting wildlife sanctuaries and national
Wildlife
parks.
sanctuaries, yes. What are wildlife sanctuaries or zoos? Yes. These are created to preserve wildlife in situ. We want to preserve the wildlife and we don't want to disturb the natural surrounding. So we preserve them in zoos, wildlife sanctuaries, national parks, and other bird sanctuaries are there. The tourists go go to these places to enjoy nature, and in ecotourism, the focus is on activities. We organized that nature trips in a way the ecosystem is preserved. There are many types of tourism, but we are discussing some of them. In India and other countries where religion is a very important type of tourism is religious tourism. Now, what is this religious tourism? I think you all are familiar with the religious tourism. What is the religious tourism? Yes. What is religious tourism? Anyone? Yes.
So going for pilgrimages
Yes,
and
it is
temples.
also called by the name of pilgrimage. We go to the places of religious importance and sometimes to perform a religious duty. Muslims go to Hajj to perform an important religious duty. This is also a tourism, but they are primarily going to perform a religious duty. Kedarnath, Badrinath, Char Dham Yatra is to perform a religious duty, but it is also tourism because it is positive on all counts of all parameters of tourism. Yes. In India, religious tourism is very, very important. In Asia, at least, religious tourism is very important. People go for darshan, Vaishno Devi. People go for in Nainital, people go for tourism mainly, but there is a Naina Devi temple. People go there also. People go there. If you go to Dehradun, quite a distance away from Dehradun is a Lachiwala forest, and in between there is a temple of Lakshman. Have you heard about a temple of Lakshman? Have you seen a temple of Lakshman anywhere else? Yeah, perhaps that is the only temple of Lakshman. And there is an interesting thing there. If you go to that Lakshman temple, uh, they give you prasad of dal chawal, rice and pulse, dal chawal. There's an interesting prasad you cannot find anywhere else. If you go to Pushkar, there is a lone temple of Brahma, if I am correct. If I am not correct, please correct me. So religious tourism in India, and you must have heard that UP government and national government and Delhi government is organizing religious circuit tours. Have you heard about it? They are giving special discounts to people going on religious circuit. There are special trains for religious tourism. Have you heard about it?
Yes, sir.
And actually, modern religious tourists are visiting antique holy sites which are associated with their religion and other religions also. Muslims go to Karbala, they go to Lady Fatima Museum in Qam, and Christians go to Sanctuary of Lady of Fatima in Kova, the area, and many places, many innumerable places of religious importance. People go there to perform to a religious duty because of their religious faith, but they perform tourism also. They are tourists also. They go to other places also. So that is a very important type of tourism all over the world. Besides religious tourism, we were talking about India. We must have talked about it in earlier classes. A friend and family tourism is very important in India. Have you heard about it? Friend and family tourism. Friend and related, or you can say friend and relative tourism. We Indians are fond of going to meet our relatives and friends in our vacations. Have you gone to? Yes. Anyone gone to that on that tourism? Yes. Anyone gone on to that tourism? Yes. Yes, Sheikh.
Yes, sir.
Perhaps you people don't have gone, but when we were younger, then it was very customary to go to Nani's place every summer.
Yes,
Or
sir.
Nana's place. That was a very important thing. That was almost a must. And it was very long tourism, 2 months or so. It was very customary in most of the families. That was a very important tourism, a very important tour or travel. Religious tourism, friend and family tourism is very, very important. It's still very important, and they don't go to hotel there. It's very interesting thing. In this tourism, hotel industry is almost always not involved. There's no hotel. They stay at their relatives or friends' place. If you go to a hotel, if you stay in a hotel, your relatives will be angry, isn't it? What they will say. Perhaps they will go to your hotel and forcibly lift your baggage and bags, and they will hijack you to their place. That's so or not? Yes. So that is a very important type of tourism in India. One interesting tourism type is developing in India in recent years, and that is very encouraging. That is health or medical tourism. Have you heard about it? Health and medical tourism. Have you heard? Medical tourism. What is this? Medical tourism. What is this? And there's two types of medical tourism. What is medical tourism? Yes. Yes, Mugda, what is medical tourism?
So people go to other places to treat themselves for various diseases,
Yes, people
and
go to.
also for
Yes.
naturopathy as well.
Naturopathy. One type is naturopathy. People go to Kerala, people go to other places, and people go for proper treatment, proper medical treatment, modern treatment also. Why? Why people and from other countries also? Why? Yes. Why people are coming to India for medical treatment? Yes, Ubas. Why people are coming to India for medical treatment? Yes.
सर नेचुरोपैथी तो सर वर्ल्ड में बहुत ही कम जगह इंडिया
Yes.
के अलावा अवेलेबल
यस
है.
नेचुरोपैथी तो इंडिया के अलावा बहुत कम जगह पाई ही जाती है और कोई वजह है जो इंडिया लोग पीपल कम फॉर हार्ट सर्जरी पीपल कम फॉर अदर ट्रीटमेंट्स इन इंडिया आल्सो फ्रॉम भूटान फ्रॉम
तो इंडिया में चीप होता है.
yes it is developed here uh, we are ahead of our neighbors in most of the treatments they are very good world class hospitals are there and it is cheaper. Europeans also come here because there that treatment is very expensive and in India it is cheaper. From their standard it is cheaper. The religious tourism is very fast emerging. Any example you have? These days our political leaders also go on Vipassana tours. Have you heard it? Vipassana tour, have you heard? Kejriwal, the Delhi Chief Minister, recently came back from the Vipassana tour, and that is a very interesting type of thing Vipassana is, and people taking Vipassana, doing Vipassana, claim that they are recharged and refreshed after that. I think one more politician, Kiran Bedi, also go on Vipassana tours. So we now come to a very obvious type of tourism, that is historical tourism. When we started this paper, many of you told me that to see historical monuments or to see historical places is a very prime reason to take tours. Yes. Yes. Any example of going on historical tour? Yes, Muniba. Do you hear me? Fozia. Perhaps they cannot hear me. Okay. Historical history attracts us. Uh, Places of historical importance. We go to see Taj Mahal, we go to see Lal Kala, we go to see Tanjavur Temple, we go to see Kashi Vishnu Temple, we go to see Vaishno Devi, we go to see Mysore Palace, we go to see Vrindavan Garden, we go to see special in world. We go to see London, we go to see Babylon's Garden, we go to see Eiffel Tower, all over the world, and all over India we go to see the monuments and buildings and other places of historical importance. So that is historical tourism. It's a very important type of tourism, historical tourism. We want to know how our forefathers lived and administered in a particular area. We go to see their heritage, their locations, their temples, their churches, museums, foods, and all other places of historical importance. Then, from historical, that is natural progression to cultural tourism. What is cultural tourism? Yes, what is cultural tourism? Yes, what is cultural tourism? What we do in cultural tourism? Yes. Any example of cultural tourism? In cultural tourism,
So we go.
yes, yes,
So we go to have a look of other people's culture.
yes. We want to explore. We want to see the culture, different cultures. Culture is very interesting things. So we are interested to know. Some people are interested to know how other people or communities live, stay, survive, and prosper. The kind of culture they practice, their art, their music, their food. We want to do it to explore other cultures and to acquire knowledge also, and to understand their cultures, to be familiar with their culture. We undertake a tour out, we undertake a journey. If the objective of one's visit to a particular place is to get to know its history and culture, uh, then this type of tourism culture is known as cultural tourism. They visit different places in a particular country, or they may simply opt to focus on just one area. They may also attend festivals. In India, festivals are also very important USP of tourism. Any festival people go to see? Yes. Any festival people go to see? Festivals and fairs
So
also.
Jagannath Rath Yatra.
Yes.
So Jagannath Rath Yatra.
Yes, Jagannath Yatra. And people go to fairs and festivals both. Fairs or festivals are part of our cultural heritage, the world over, and India mainly. Our festivals are very colorful. So people go to see Mathura to see a particular type of Holi. People go to Spain for tomato festival. People go to see bullfights in Spain. People go to. Have you heard of Holi of Barsana? Do you know something about it? Yes.
Yes, sir.
That is Lat Tomar Holi. There's very interesting type of festival. People go to see that festival. People go to see the bullfight in
सर
Spain.
उसके बाद भी बहुत सारी होती हैं सर, लड्डू की होली भी होती है, जलेबी की भी होती है
लड्डू की होली भी होती है, कहाँ पर? Where?
सर। बरसाना में ही होती है, और
Okay.
कलर्स की भी होती है उसके अलावा।
Okay. And laddu and
सर जलेबी,
oh good. तो
तो वो
मतलब
पैकेट्स में, मतलब पैकेट्स में बना के उसको फिर लोगों लोगों के ऊपर बनाते हैं।
they don't only give you lads, but they give you laddus also and jalebis also. Okay, that is
Yes, sir.
very interesting information. That is a very important type of fairs and festivals. And any example of people going to see fairs? One
सर
example.
नौचंदी का मेला
Nauchandi
एंड
ka
पुष्कर
mela,
फेयर।
exactly, yes. And in Aligarh also people come to see Numaish, that is also a type of fair. And that is a very old fair. Can you guess how old it is?
सर 118 years ago।
Yeah, had 140, I think 140 or something. It's a very old fair, and there is cattle fair in Surajpur also. Sorry, Sonipat, I think. There are many fairs people go. In modern times also, governments tried to rekindle the magic of fairs, and Mahotsavs are being celebrated. Lucknow Mahotsav and other Mahotsavs. People go to that because we have a special affinity to fairs and festivals. In India, we have a special fairs and festivals attract us very much. So that is a very interesting type of tourism, mainly in India. In other places also, people go to see fairs and festivals and enjoy. But in India, it is. Now we come to adventure tourism. What is adventure tourism? Yes. Adventure tourism. In adventure tourism, people go to enjoy adventurous activities like kayaking, like bungee jumping, like climbing, like trekking, like hot air balloon. There are many activities. People take thrill, river rafting. People go to Rishikesh solely to take the river rafting activity. People go to trek in Himalayas, and they organize camps and stay under the blue sky. People have. What do you think? Why people do these activities? Why people want to take these risky activities? Have you heard a word flow?